So I'm Maddy Harland from Permaculture Magazine, and I'm the author of the Biotime Log, and I'm here with Jon Young from the Eight Shields Institute. Jon, you've been teaching nature connection for years and years. Tell us a little bit about why it's such an important practice to introduce into your daily life.
Well, it's because our nervous system is hardwired to nourish from nature connection. And there aren't a lot of things in daily life nowadays that stimulates us to actually follow through on what would be really promising routines of nature connection. So we actually have to become very intentional and focused and get nature connection into our lives in ways that we wouldn't sort of think of in our everyday life. So um, in the 30 plus years of doing this, I've seen massive change in thousands and thousands of people, all for the better. And we now know that the research basically says this is true, we need it. It's part of our nutritional system. Richard Louv calls it vitamin N, and I think that's aptly named. But just like vitamins, when we first get them, we don't necessarily know that they have to come in a particular form or our body won't absorb them. And I feel that's how we are with nature connection right now as a society. We're discovering vitamin N, but we're not sure quite how to get it into our system. And I believe that your Biotime Log is definitely one of the things that can help us have an invigorated version of vitamin N. And I've been a big fan of journaling and the need to pay attention to seasons and changes. And I authored a naturalist training program which is based on journaling. And I'm going to encourage everyone to get the Biotime Log because I see it as really helpful. I got to use it just the other day with some hatching flying ants here at Applewood. And when they came, and the next day it rained a little bit, and to notice the relationship of seasonality, what's happening this year versus last year. It was just now in July that this happened, at the end of July, early August. But maybe next year it'll happen at the end of May, early June. And there it will be in the Biotime Log. You'll be like, whoa, the whole season is off by a month and from when it was last year. And these are really important things to know. These are the kinds of things that old-timers used to know and hold in their beings, but we don't have many of them left like that anymore. So you're reawakening that old pattern of deep knowledge, deep connection to place with Biotime Log. And I think it's a really wonderful project, and I'm glad that you published that. Thank you.
And just briefly, what happens when people do genuinely connect with nature?
I think they become a better version of themselves. They're happier, they're more vital, they have a deeper ability to listen unconditionally to one another. They become like walking nature, and people feel really safe with them, and they have deep empathy, and they surface their own understanding of who they are. And so they become much more helpful, much more service-oriented, interdependent, conservation-minded. They become responsible environmental people. And not because laws tell them to, but because intrinsically they know this is what we need. They have great wonder for life, and they develop a big capacity to love. And the gift of the quiet mind that you get from listening to the birds and being connected to the stars and the wind and the rain, and you feel part of the family of the universe. And I think that's when your creativity really flows. You become more poetic and more vibrant and more wonderful.
And just if you have just one piece of advice or a tip to the people watching this film, what would you offer?
Anyone who knows me knows what's going to come out of my lips right now. Everyone should have a place where they go and sit every day. And it doesn't want to be way out somewhere like in the imaginary perfect national park that's an hour's drive, because you'll only go there in your mind once or twice a year, and you'll feel guilty that you haven't made it. Put it on your front porch. Put it on your back stoop. Put it, if you're paying rent or if you're paying a mortgage, you're paying for that classroom and nature connection already. So think of it like that. It's tuition. Make good use of the spaces right outside your door or right outside your workplace. Go out even where you park your car if you can't find anything else, and just sit and watch and get to know the birds and animals that you see every day as neighbors, and start to realize that the birds are all talking to each other, and you'll start to notice that the little songbirds in your yard get agitated when a hawk is flying by. And pretty soon you'll recognize that agitation when you're inside, and you'll come out and you'll say, hey, there's going to be a hawk out there, and there it'll be, and you'll feel really so much more happy that you're connected to the life forms around you. But make it really convenient. That's the most important thing. And then tell that story. What just happened out there? Tell it to somebody that you love, and share your curiosity with each other, because nature connection and people connection really feed each other like a positive feedback loop, and we need them both.
Thank you very much, John.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maddy.